Welcome to the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast with your host, hailing from Kaukauna, Wisconsin, riding a CST tires, SSI decals, Valvoline backed Yamaha YFC 450R, four-time ATV Motocross National Champion, number 25, Cody Jansen.
What's up, everybody?
We're back.
Welcome to the latest edition of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, episode 150 of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, presented by our title sponsor, CST Tires, in stock and available for purchase today at shop.csttires.com. I'm your host, Cody Jansen, saying hello to our nearly 273,000 monthly Digging Deep listeners in 109 countries in which you are listening. And on this episode, we'll be joined by one of my absolute favorite riders currently competing on the ATV Motocross National Tour. On the last episode, we had the pleasure of chatting with a fan favorite for so many of us, Digger Doug Gust. Tonight's guest shares a special connection with Digger, so I thought there was no better time to feature this rider than right after our conversation with Doug. This was such a fun discussion. I can't wait for you to hear it right here on the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. Let's quickly shout out all of our incredible partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Namura Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymauer Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binkies Forever ATC Museum, Impact Solutions, Ultimate Poly Products, UPP Racing, our choice when it comes to case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com, and Manscaped. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. Whether it's the Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, the GOAT of electric razor trimmers, my personal favorite, the Beard Hedger Pro Kit from Manscaped, or the best nose hair trimmer ever created, the Weed Whacker 2.0, get 20% off and free shipping with code DIGGINGDEEP20 at manscaped.com. Support all the great companies that support us, and for any products that fall through the cracks, click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website. It's that time of year. The season opener is just around the corner. It'll be here before we know it. And no matter what off-road gear parts you need this off season, Rocky Mountain ATVMC has you covered. But before you buy, simply click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner on our website. By using our specific link, we get a small percentage of what you buy on the back end, enabling you to help us out while purchasing the parts you need anyway. And did you know you can buy OEM parts from Rocky Mountain ATVMC as well? Yep, shipped conveniently right to your door. So click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner at diggingdeepatvmx.com to help us out while satisfying all your gear and parts needs. Shout out to all of our donors, and if you are interested in donating and hearing your name on the show, you can buy the Patreon or buy me a coffee donation links on our website. Major thanks to all who have donated, of course. Now, if you can't donate, but you still want to help us out, you can leave us a rating or review on iTunes and Spotify because that helps us out a bunch too. Now, it's showtime. The 30-second board is up, it's sideways, and the gate is down. Time to dig deep.
Let's go!
We'll get right back to the show, but now a word from our sponsors. And thank you for listening to these ads. Without these great companies, none of this would be possible. Show your support for the people who support us. The official tire choice of Digging Deep, CST tires are the choice of ATV racing's elite on the track, in the woods, and every other terrain. CST tires swept the ATV racing world in 2022 as Joel Hetrick, Bryson Neal, and Bo Barron rode their Pulse MXR and Pulse HT tires to an ATV Pro Motocross title, GNCC XC1 Pro title, and 10th ATV Pro Works Racing title, respectively. Led by champion Joel Hetrick and podium contenders Bryce Ford, Jeffrey Rastrelli, and Nick Janusa, CST's Pulse MXR tire is the most trusted tire in ATV motocross today. Available in soft and standard compounds, the Pulse MXR offers the highest level of traction, most predictable cornering, and superior wear characteristics when compared to the competition. And did I mention they have a contingency program as well? Visit shop.csttires.com to join the CST takeover today, or prepare to be beat by someone who did. The best of the best choose CST. do you? You know we're Team Blue Crew here at the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, as the Yamaha YFZ450R is the official ATV of Digging Deep. In a move started by 8-time ATVMX Pro Class National Champion Chad Wienen, who with his next championship will become the winningest champion in ATV motocross history, we are living in ATV racing's YFZ450R era. Alongside Wienen, 7-time GNCC XC1 Pro ATV National Champion Walker Fowler welcomed a pair of new champions to the Yamaha Champions Club, as the podium-proven Yamaha YFZ450R proved to be the winning choice for Joel Hetrick and Bryson Neal. This unprecedented success for the YFZ450R, its unrivaled quality and performance, and the clear fact that Yamaha is the leading OEM supporter of ATV racing has resulted in a complete Yamaha takeover within the sport quad market. Evident by the continuation of Yamaha's Blue Crew Racer Support Program, Yamaha riders will once again cash in on payout and prize opportunities in 2023, including a chance to win a brand new YFZ450R. For more info, head over to YamahaBlueCrew.com. Follow Yamaha Outdoors, as well as the new Blue Crew official channel on social media, and check out Yamaha's full proven off-road lineup at YamahaOutdoors.com today. SSI Decals, your way. SSI Decals sets the standard with the best looking decals, graphics kits, and vinyl wraps in the industry. Established in 1947, SSI took shape as an offshoot of their parent company by doing a little work for local pro Chad Wienen. Nearly 2 decades later, and fueled by a passion for ATVs, the company has flourished into one of ATV Moto's most recognized brands. From ATV Motocross, SSI has expanded into graphics and design work for top racers in GNCC, Works Racing, Pro Motocross and Supercross, off-road, and more, headlined by 8-time world champion top fuel drag racer Clay Millican. Whether your project is big or small, SSI Decals will make your identity stick. Get started today at SSIDecals.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 for 10% off at checkout. Things are about to get sick. The Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast is brought to you in part by DID and their wide range of championship-winning chains. From the street to the track and everywhere in between, DID chains are designed to give you the optimal riding experience with great performance and increased chain life. Consistent to the core, pick up your box of reliability today. DID, what drives you?
We are proud to be partnered with Namura Technologies. For over 20 years, Namura has pushed the limit of value and reliability in the ATV and side-by-side market. Covering more applications than anyone in the industry, Namura's full line of cast and forged pistons, connecting rods, gasket kits, and industry-leading top-end repair kits and more have led to higher overall engine performance for your machine. Visit your local dealer or online at www.namura.com and follow along on Instagram for giveaways and exciting new products in 2023. Namura Technologies, your one-stop shop engine component supplier. We are pleased to be partnered with Bronco ATV and UTV Components. Bronco has been an industry leader in replacement hard parts and accessories for all makes and models for over 15 years. With a catalog that includes a full line of electrical components, engine internals and cylinders, shock and suspension parts, winches, clutch kits, valves, carb kits, bearing kits, and drive chain parts, Bronco is your hard part source for whatever you need, for whatever you ride. Available exclusively through distributors around the world, visit your local dealer or online at broncoatv.com.
For over 150 years, Valvoline has been dedicated to constant improvement and innovation across all disciplines of racing. As a proud member of Team Valvoline for nearly a decade, I have witnessed their unwavering commitment to pushing the boundaries of performance. Valvoline has sponsored some of the greatest names in motorsports, solidifying their position as a powerhouse within the industry. Being a part of this historically great team has been an incredible privilege. When it comes to my equipment, whether it's my daily commuting vehicles, race quads, or anything in between, I trust nothing but Valvoline. Their range of products and lubricants consistently deliver increased horsepower, durability, and engine life. I'm excited to announce Valvoline's breakthrough in performance, Valvoline Ultimate Power Sports. With up to 8 times stronger rust protection and 50% better wear protection, this cutting-edge formula ensures your ATV's engine runs smoother and longer for the ultimate ride. Tackle rugged terrains with confidence knowing your ATV's engine is equipped with the best protection available. Ready to experience the next level of performance? Head over to shop.valvolineglobal.com and use code DIGGINGDEEP10 at checkout to unlock an exclusive 10% off on your purchase. Don't miss out on this limited time offer to enhance your ATV's performance with Valvoline's Ultimate Power Sports engine oil. All right, guys, we are back here at the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, and we have a special guest tonight, someone I've looked forward to sitting down with for literally years at this point. Brought to you by DP Brakes, the industry leader in sintered brake technology. Their sponsorship window is still wide open, so reach out to Larry via the DP social media pages or at www.dp-brakes.com today. It's my pleasure to be joined by fourth place finisher in the WMX ATV Motocross National Championship, Miss Shelby Cobrando. Shelby, welcome to Digging Deep. First time, long time coming kind of thing. Thanks so much for being here. Like I said, I've wanted to make this happen for a long time, Shelby.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me on and super excited.
So, Shelby, we chatted a few weeks back at the banquet and decided that there was no better time than now to do this because we just had Digger Doug Gust on the previous episode, an absolute legend, of course. And you have a special connection to Doug a little bit. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so I had to have been about 5 or 6 years old and I was little, so I don't remember in detail now, but my parents were able to fill me in on some of the details. I picked him when I was a kid, and we're not 100% sure on how or why. We can't remember if I had picked him because he pulled a hole shot or if it was because it was a bright yellow on his quad at the time. We can't exactly remember how it all began. It could have been the number that stood out because it was two repeating digits and not a variety of numbers. I don't know, but nothing ever changed. I had picked him when I was a kid, and then every following year after that, I didn't race the nationals as a kid. So it was always going out and just watching, and I kept picking the same guy. Nothing ever changed.
So I guess what happened first, because the story goes that you were never any other number but 55. That's what you have previously told me. So I knew that was part of the story. So then, I was curious, like, what comes first? I mean, obviously you were into ATV racing to be connected to this guy. So were you already like riding, but not racing yet before you adopted this number and you became super fan of Digger Doug? How did the timeline play out?
Yeah, so I think my first quad was an old Zinger. I don't know if many people know what those are anymore. They kind of look like little trucks. I had one of those, and then I graduated from that to a Lem Cayman.
Okay.
And the Lem was the first thing that I rode on a track on and started racing local stuff with it. And it kind of fell around the same time that I took a liking to the Lem. And I want to say Nick Janusa had the same one that I did as a kid, just a different color.
Okay.
And I still have mine. I never let my dad sell it. So it's sitting up in a shelf in our garage.
That's awesome.
We've had it for probably the last 21 years.
Yeah, that's awesome. So it's about that time, must be about that time that you are obviously into the ATV thing and now you're connected to Digger Doug. I don't know that you need a reason why it happened because he was the cool guy. I feel like he was, kind of the, as the years played out after that, maybe John Natale became the people's champ guy, quote unquote, but everybody loved Digger, in the era before that. And even then, but everybody loved Digger. There wasn't a person that you would find that didn't like or love Digger. So obviously, I'm not surprised that that's the guy that was your favorite. So it's cool that it all comes together like that. And yeah, my question was, where did it all start? How did you talked about the ATVs you started with, but where did it start? Do your parents, did they race at some point or what was the connection? How did it lead to you racing and riding ATVs? Or was it just as simple as your parents got you a little quad and then you decided, hey, at some point, we're going to race this thing?
Yeah. So when I was little, my mom growing up actually rode quads and she didn't really race competitively, but when her and my dad got together, I think that's around the time whenever she started racing some local stuff, arena cross and fair races. So me seeing her doing that when I was really little, I wanted to be just like mom.
Of course. That's super cool. So then, Shelby, I know there's going to be years in the process there, and we can get to more of that as we go, but that's kind of how the story starts, right? Is how you filled us in there. Obviously connection to Digger Doug, you adopt the number, that whole thing. Then, fast forward a little ways. And the first time that I hear your name, Shelby, is at High Point in 2021. And you were a podium finisher that weekend. And the reason why it stands stands out to me is because I didn't know your name at the time. And very rarely in any class does somebody just show up and podium, let alone in the WMX class. That's obviously so competitive. That has to be such a great memory for you. So can you tell me the story of like that weekend and how that played out and the emotions that I would think inevitably come with finishing on the podium, kind of your first time out kind of thing. So tell me about that.
Yeah, so that was a shock factor for sure. Like a big realization for myself that, hey, I can do this. I think I doubted myself for a long time. And I don't know, kind of woke up one day and decided I wanted to race nationals. So we did High Point that one year because it was our local track and ended up doing really good that weekend. So I definitely got the itch to start running the full series for the following season.
So that was just a one-off. Was that really your first national?
As an adult, yeah. I ran a few as a kid because they interfered with the District 5 races for PMX. So other than that, that was the first time.
So I know it's been really only 3-4 years at this point, but what do you remember from that weekend? Like, tell me about how the races went and how, because I think you went, if I remember correctly, I think you went like 4-2, right? Like amazing to jump onto the scene like that. Like I said, like very, very rarely does that happen. And very rarely when you've been in it as long as I have, like does somebody show up in podium, especially in a top class like that. So I've like been a fan of yours from that very day. So yeah, I'm just curious, like what you remember from that day. And again, like standing on that podium, not thinking that you probably had a chance, to do that. Like, got to be so special. Tell me what you remember from it.
Yeah. I mean, the goal was just to go out that weekend and see if I could hang with the fast girls. And I vaguely remember, I don't remember if it was a mud kind of race weekend or maybe Moto 2 just got a little extra water.
Okay.
But I do think that there was some moisture involved, whether that be from the water truck or from Mother Nature herself. But I think that's how I ended up doing so well in Moto 2 that put me on the box. Okay.
Yeah. I don't remember necessarily. Like I remember maybe being a little tacky on Saturday, maybe, but yeah, either way, has to be such a special, special moment, special memory for you. What about and I remember the photos of you standing on like the deck there that they use at High Point, and I remember being like, man, who is that? So, what was it like to stand on that deck with people that I'm sure the other girls that I'm sure you looked up to at the time, right? Somewhat. So, tell me about that. That had to be something special too.
Yeah, it's a weird feeling, especially when you're not used to running the full series, getting pulled up off the track and they're directing you in a certain way. And I'm like, what's going on? I didn't put two and two together. I guess the blonde hair was really showing at that moment, but
gosh,
it was exciting. And I think I had so many nerves running that to try to remember it all now is a blank, because like you remember it, but I don't remember it exactly because you just don't believe that it's true. Like, did that really just happen?
Got it. I totally understand. And I was picking up on the fact that you don't remember it blow by blow, which is totally fine. But the reason why, and again, it's cool. Like it's such a cool story. And that was one of the aspects as to why I wanted to have this chat with you for so long. The other aspect of it is, I've always felt a connection to you jumping on the scene and kind of making a name for yourself, flashing onto the national ATV motocross scene like that, because it's very similar to kind of like my story at the very beginning. 2006 national, the 300EX class. It was huge at the time. So you had to qualify in. There's like 30 guys. And long story short, I win one of the motos and they tore me down because these kids and the family, the parents or whatever, didn't believe that somebody could come out of nowhere and win the class, win a moto, if they didn't know who that kid was. And still to this day, I have such a sense of pride about the fact that they didn't believe that I could have done it without cheating, and obviously I was legal as the story goes on or whatever. But yeah, that story for you, like I said, it doesn't happen often where somebody flashes onto the scene. And then I've been such a fan from then because, like I said, it kind of mimics my story in a way, which is so cool. So now you pointed out something when we chatted in the past about that day and being that, you flashed onto the scene that weekend. And in my mind, I thought, okay, like until then, she must have not been old enough to ride a 450, because otherwise, why wouldn't you have been at the races? But that's not true. You kind of cleared that up for me, that you weren't just coming of age, meaning 16. You weren't just turning 16 at the time. It was just that's when you chose to race a national in the WMX class. It wasn't an age thing. So many of the girls that, maybe you're racing then and are racing now, like they're a little bit younger than you.
Yeah, they're definitely younger than me. I'm 26 now. So I think my first year I might have been 23, give or take. I don't know. It was a confidence thing. I had to kind of believe in myself because I doubted myself the whole time I was a teenager, that I probably could have stepped my foot into the nationals and done very well. But the time I just didn't believe that I could do it. Finally, one day I was like, you know what? I'm going to run one and see how I do. And then it's all been downhill from there.
The rest was history. It's funny too, because, and I think I said this to you a couple of weeks ago when we were talking in Ohio, them being younger, I guess like it could be a blessing, could be a curse. It could be a little bit of each, but you come in with a different sense of, I don't know, racing life, like perspective, all those things that some of those girls, maybe when they're just turning 16 or, just moving up from the youth classes or 250 classes, the women's 15 plus class, whatever, as they're moving up, I mean, you got other stuff going on. So I would think that, and we'll get into like more of what you have going on in your life or whatever, but I would think that the racing is a little bit of a vice. Like that's your place to be free and to, do what you love. I'm sure there's not necessarily pressure that comes with that at this point. And I would think as a young racer, it doesn't matter if you're a little boy or a younger boy, younger girl, like, man, if sometimes racing can feel like the weight of the world at 14, 15, 16, 17. So honestly, I think you being, and it's not like you're old, you're still young, but some of the people you're racing against are 6 or 7 years younger than you. Right. So, honestly, I think you being like in your prime at 26, like, I think that's advantage you, honestly.
Thanks. That's pretty cool.
Again, I don't want to bring it back to me too much, but like 5, 6, years ago for me, like I think like I would have told you that was the best I ever was, so I think, you're kind of coming right into your prime right now. You look at where you finished too in these titles. I talked about the fact that you were 4th this past season. You missed 3rd by just 1 point. So came right down to the wire for the top 3, but 6th in the championship in 2022, 5th in 2023, 4th in 2024. So, I mean, Shelby, like look into 2025. Like if you stay on this trend, man, things are looking really good.
I know. We're excited for next year for sure.
I bet.
We interrupt this program for a special news bulletin.
The following message is brought to you by Manscaped.com. The Manscaped engineering team has outdone themselves this time, creating the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, now available for purchase in the U.S. and Canada. Join over 2 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped, an official sponsor of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, with this exclusive offer of 20% off and free worldwide shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at Manscaped.com. I'm one of the first people to try the new 4.0 and I am blown away. This thing is next level. What sets this trimmer apart from all the rest? The Lawnmower 4.0 gives you the ability to turn the LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. It features a new multi-functioning on-off switch with travel lock for those of us who like to travel. And my favorite, the new trimmer allows you to customize your trim with 4 different guard lengths, an upgrade from its predecessor that only featured 2. If you're listening, you know that good tools are a must, so wait no more to get the best tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at Manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped.com by using code DiggingDeep20.
Hey everyone, this is Larry Mills, president of DP Brakes North America and proud partner of the Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast. We at DP Brakes are a longtime supporter of ATV racing and the world leader in sintered brake technology, dominating the ATV world for decades by supporting the best four-wheel racers on the planet. This year's lineup includes Jeff Rastrelli, Mark Baldwin and Baldwin Motorsports, Ford Brothers Racing, Nick Janusa, and many more, including Mr. Digging Deep himself, Cody Jansen. Plus all the top 17 GNCC pros such as 7-time champion Walker Fowler, Bryson Neal, Hunter Hart, Cole Richardson, Jared McClure, Adam McGill, and previous champion Chris Borich. These top riders continue to appreciate the high performance and impressive durability that their DP brakes have to offer. Products that ultimately help place them on top of the podium week after week. DP brakes are available through www.dp-brakes.com, or you can purchase them through your local Parts Unlimited stocking dealer, or you can even message us, myself, Larry Mills, or DP Brakes on Instagram or Facebook. And if you have any questions about product or sponsorship support, please ask us. We are waiting for you. Join the best ATV riders in the world equipped with DP Brakes, and have a great year, everyone.
Nearing 2 decades into the brand's existence, Factory 43 is back and better than ever, continuing to make major waves in the ATV world. For the 3rd consecutive season, Factory 43 is the official aluminum parts choice of the Phoenix Racing ATV team, providing their state-of-the-art Evo Nerf bars, MX-style front bumpers, and grab bars for 2-time champ Joel Hetrick. If you're in the market to upgrade your Nerf bars, bumpers, or grab bars, head over to factory43atv.com to see their full line of industry-leading products available for all makes and models. Head over to factory43atv.com today.
We're excited for next year for sure.
I bet. And you've really been like making a name for yourself as far as getting on the box. Like, you become a podium regular. I think you have 7 WMX podiums to your name at this point. And in the middle of last season too, like, you were really heating up. I believe you were on the podium at 4 of 5 races at one point, which has to be such a great feeling. Like, it's such a great feeling as a racer, knowing and going to the line, expecting to be on the podium. That's when things are just getting fun, I feel like.
Yeah, kind of feels like you're glowing in that moment of, excitement, and you're proud of yourself.
Yes, exactly. That's a good feeling. Like, I always feel like when other people are on the podium, it's almost like that podium's betraying you a little bit. Like, that's my spot up there. So I don't know if you feel that at, when you go 4 for 5, but you definitely should. So yeah, the other aspect, Shelby, of your story that made me such a fan of yours in the last couple of years, as I learned more and more about you, is how these WMX races, both of the motos are on Saturdays, right? And that works out perfect for you as far as the story goes. You and your family, like, after the races on Saturday nights, you guys race home so you can go to work, I believe, on like Sunday nights or something, right? So tell me about that, because I think that that's a really cool part of your story. And the other part that I thought that part of your story needs to be told.
Yeah, so I kind of live a double life, I think. I'm able to run the nationals in the WMX class because both the motos are on Saturday, and I work full-time night shift as a nurse's aide. So we're usually racing home through the night, Saturday night, early Sunday, so that I can get back to work Sunday nights, because my shift is from 10 at night until 6 in the morning.
Dang. That's amazing. I think that that is so cool. Like I said, that's why I wanted to tell your story, because I think that that's a whole nother aspect of it. And we talked about, the age thing, but maybe more than anything, it's a life thing where you have all this other stuff going on, and then you fit in the ATV motocross thing on the side, basically, and you're thriving doing it. And I just find that to be so cool. And, to be in a profession like that, that's obviously demanding, and like you said, working night shift, I'm sure, isn't easy. So to have all that going on and to be able to race as well as you have too, like, again, that's why I wanted to tell your story, because I just think it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, I definitely feel like I live a double life. I've always got something going on, keep me busy at home, and then between the spring and summer months, we're always at another track at another state doing something else. So we're busy year round doing something always.
And it's funny that you say the double life thing, because that's something that has been in my mind too. Like, I was a full-time racer for a lot of years, and then there was a number of years there, like Digging Deep started in 2019, and until like after Loretta's 2023, like until that time frame, like Digging Deep was really like the main focus of, I don't know, my life, I guess. Like, it was the main money maker, whatever. And then after Loretta's last year, or 2 years ago, however that works out, 2023, I got a 9-to-5 job, and then Digging Deep became more of a side gig. And it's like, I even found more respect for you in a way, because it's like, I'm sure you gotta go to the gym. If you're anything like me, like, you gotta work out, and you have to work your job, and then the racing thing and all the prep that goes into the racing thing. And I know it takes a village. I know your family's great. You gotta have such a great support system, all those things. But like, I even found more respect for your story in a way, because I feel like I have no extra time. Like, I don't have extra time for the gym, but I make it happen. I don't have extra time to, do tons of research for podcasts and record these conversations and edit them, but I pull all nighters, or I get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, or whatever it is, like I make it happen. And it's kind of the same thing you're doing by, you guys get to the races, you kill it on the racetrack, you're getting all these podiums, then you race home to make it to work on Sunday evenings. Like I just find like that story is so damn cool. So between that and the way you jumped onto the scene, like that part of your story, I find fascinating. Like I love that. Your riding style is cool. You were wearing Thor at one point, which is obviously, it's a draw to me. You had the red and black gear with the wolf on it. I had the same stuff. Digger in the number 55, just so cool. And then you kind of referenced it there. I also love how the family aspect for you. You've been at our Digging Deep ride days and, some other practice tracks I've seen you at, and you were at the Budds Creek thing when we were out there. And your parents are at every race and every practice day. It seems like they're all in. I love it. I'm such a fan. And going back to the age thing, like I said, it's just so impressive to have everything going on that you do, work life, racing life, all those things. And then two, you and I were talking about the fact that you and your better half got you bought a house recently, so you have that going on. That work never stops. You and I talked about that. Like Brooke and I built a house, you guys bought a house, like that never ends. So Shelby, I don't really know how you do it all. Like it's pretty incredible.
I don't know some days either. I just think I have a good support system. Very fortunate and thankful that I have my mom and my dad, that they're like best friends for me. We do everything together, and it's always been that way. And my boyfriend and I, he's definitely the better half sometimes. He holds everything down at home while I'm out racing and fulfilling my dreams.
That's amazing. And like I said, I just think that that's so cool to be 26 and doing it with your parents and still like making all those memories. And like you said, they're best friends. It reminds me of me and my family dynamic, and all the great memories we've made over the years. We're still making them now. That's all cool. And also your boyfriend, like he races and rides and stuff, right? I don't know. I thought he was into the dirt bike thing, but maybe the four wheelers too. Like he's also has that shared passion, I think.
Yeah, we started dating in high school, and he was a dirt bike guy. Then I think shortly after he graduated, he wanted to get a quad. So now he's a jack of all trades. He rides both.
Yeah, just to be able to share passions like that too is a special thing, because if you were with somebody that didn't get it, maybe at 26 you wouldn't still be chasing this dream, so that's a whole nother aspect, and I'm sure he deserves a lot of credit too. So that's really special. Shelby, let's look ahead to 2025 a little bit, the 2025 schedule. I know it's been out for a little bit here, but we haven't talked about it yet on the show. So 2025 series schedule for ATV Motocross, the national championship, of course. Schedule looks a little different this next year. So Daytona and Deckers are going to be the first two rounds. Those are pro only. And then for WMX and the rest of the classes in ATV Motocross, things are going to kick off at Etchiconee in March. Then they're going to go to Lake Sugar Tree. I don't believe that you would have been there. I think we talked about that a few weeks back. But Lake Sugar Tree is going to be round two. Then to Ironman, Sunset Ridge, Budds Creek, Tomahawk, which is in West Virginia. I've never been there. Pleasure Valley, and Briarcliff. So, Shelby, when you look at this series schedule for 2025, what are your thoughts?
Well, coming from Pennsylvania, I'm pretty excited about it because the majority of them are pretty close. It's only a few hour drive.
Absolutely. You guys are really centrally located, especially to the schedule, the way it looks for next year. I've never been to that Tomahawk track, but the addition of Lake Sugar Tree, we raced there in the COVID year. And I think I remember telling you, like, that was a really cool track. And honestly, I'm excited to cover that race a little bit leading up to it, because I wasn't aware when we went there in 2020, it must have been, that was a staple of like the dirt bike national championship years and years ago. There's a ton of American motocross history that happened at Lake Sugar Tree. So I look forward to digging into that. But yeah, I think the schedule is super cool. Obviously happy that it's starting off at Daytona for the pros, and a pro only race at Deckers will be cool. They've messed around with some of those other invitational like events in the spring before, and now they're going to bring in this actual round of the nationals, which is exciting. Etchicani's awesome. The sandbox there at Etchicani. I'm so glad that that's back on the schedule. A historic stop for this series. So I'm glad that we're going back there. Lick Sugar Tree, like we talked about. Then we come to the Midwest, kind of our neck of the woods, my neck of the woods with Ironman and Sunset Ridge. And yeah, I guess I didn't hit on this yet, but Deckers, Sunset Ridge, and Briarcliff are going to be these Triple Crown races for the pros. So 3 shorter motos should be super exciting. Add to the action a little bit. So that'll be fun. Budds Creek is back on the schedule for round 7. Like I said, Tomahawk, I don't know a ton about that, but we'll get into that, I'm sure, as the season kind of unfolds and the preseason nears. Pleasure Valley, kind of back to your neck of the woods, Shelby, out there, and then ending at Briarcliff for the season finale this year. So yeah, super exciting. I like it. I'm sure it'll be here before we know it. So that's fun. But yeah, I'm excited. I know, like I said, I think the season will be here before we know it. So that's an exciting thing. So that's kind of short-term future as far as next season goes, Shelby. But what about long-term future or in general? What does the future hold for Shelby Cobrando? Could be racing stuff or life stuff, whatever you guys got going on. What are the thoughts? How long do you see yourself doing this?
Well, definitely doing it next year, maybe again the year after. We got a friend of ours that actually bought my practice bike.
Okay.
So he is going to be old enough, I believe, at the end of the season this coming year. So he'll be racing the following year after that for 2026.
Okay.
So I'll probably race with him for sure because they're all new to the Nationals. And it's definitely easier when you know someone
Definitely.
than going into it all on your own. So definitely the next 2 years for sure. And then after that, I don't know. I don't ever want to stop doing it. I know that my parents don't want me to stop doing it because it's like
I can
our
relate.
family thing to do.
Right. I can relate.
Yeah, I don't know. The next 2 years for sure. And then after that, I don't know. I don't want to hang it up.
I love it. I love it. No, I don't either. I always tell people, they're like, man, are you still racing? Like local people or whatever that I see. And I'm like, man, I'm never going to stop. Like, like there's always going to be races close to Pennsylvania, Shelby. So you can race for forever. Like you don't never got to stop. I mean, maybe full time, maybe, things maybe put that on hold for a little while if you have to at some point, but yeah, there'll always be races close to home, and I hope that you get to do it for forever. I know, like I said, that's my plan too. So, the other thing, Shelby, that we got to do is we got to get you and Doug in the same place at some point here. I'm willing to do whatever I have to make it happen. And, in my mind, that's something that has to be done. Definitely got to make that happen because there's that picture of you and him, when you're, just a little racer, when he was still racing at the track in the pits there that we shared a couple weeks back. And we got to recreate that photo, I think.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that timeline when I was a kid was the absolute best. My quad was yellow and blue because I wanted it to match Doug's, and I think we had matching helmets at the time. I wanted his helmet. Yeah, but I wanted to be just like him as a kid.
That's cool. So, and I had kind of told Doug that, that you're still out there. And I said that on the show. We talked to him on the show and I kind of told him, you're still racing with the 55 and he's got, people that are still totally into Digger Doug still to this day, just like I am. And he almost didn't want to believe it. So that's pretty special. So yeah, I think we can definitely make it happen. I'm hoping we can drag him out to a race, this next summer, whether it be Walnut, Sunset Ridge, one of the Ironman, one of the close ones, and see if we can't coax them to come down there, and we can definitely make it happen. So that's my plan. But Shelby, I can't thank you enough for doing this. This is so much fun. Like I said, I wanted to make this happen for a long time, so I can't thank you enough for giving me a little of your time. And let's not let this be the last time, okay? You've made some forever fans in us at Digging Deep here, and I would love to do this again. Maybe you can be, be a regular correspondent of ours or something during the season next season or something. We'd really love to hear some more from Shelby Cobrando here on the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Super excited, and plenty more to talk about in the future because I'll be here for a little while.
Awesome, Shelby. Well, enjoy the holidays. Thanks so much again for doing this, and we'll see you at the track in the next few months. Okay.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're the best. That's WMX National number 4, Shelby Cobrando, signing off on the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast, brought to you by DP Brakes. Have a good night, Shelby. Thanks so much.
Thank you, you too.
Success in the ATV MX world is similar to what creates financial success as well. The right people, the right advice, and more importantly, hard work and the benefit of an ongoing relationship as situations change and adversity is experienced. Do you have the right financial advisor to help you reach your goals? Haymauer Financial Group can create a personalized, goal-based plan to help your family prepare for whatever life brings. Call me, Scott Haymauer, at Haymauer Financial Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services, at 920-338-8150. That's 920-338-8150. Offices located in beautiful De Pere, Wisconsin, with registrations and clients nationwide.
Headlined by the 4130 Chromoly, Launderville Steel and Concrete Supply is a full-service steel supplier of new and surplus steel, aluminum, and stainless steel products. This racing family-owned full metal service center and concrete product supplier comes with over 30 years of experience serving the entire United States from their central Midwest location. As the number one choice for nationwide shipments and with available next-day delivery in select areas, LSE has you covered near or far. 4130 is not just the chromoly tubing and plate used in the building of chassis for an array of motorsports applications, but it is also the name of the newest addition to the Pro Paddock with riders Jaden JJ Launderville and Max Lindquist, introducing the new 4130 Motorsports team. Launderville Steel offers a large selection of material for any project, including their concrete division that can supply everything you need to complete your next business or personal project. For a quote or more info, visit laundervillesteel.com today or give them a call at 715-675-6193. That's 715-675-6193. Here at Digging Deep, we have an obvious passion for ATVs and pridefully enjoy sharing the sport's history. Since 2019, when the podcast was born, we've been working to partner with individuals who share our passion, but one man and his vision had been missing from our partnership group. Until now. When it comes to the sport's history, the hallowed grounds of Binky's Forever ATC Museum has it all. Binky Tapscott's mind-blowing collection of 3- and 4-wheelers has preserved history by spanning all makes and models from Honda 3-wheelers in chronological order to unique builds that shaped ATV racing as we know it, like Doug Gust's iconic DRZ-powered hybrid thumper and everything in between. There's no denying Binky's passion, a passion that we certainly relate to here at Digging Deep. Binky's goal is to share his amazing collection with fellow enthusiasts by making his prized possessions accessible to the public via scheduled visits. Follow Forever ATC Museum on Facebook and watch foreveratc.com for further updates on possibly getting a chance to see Binky's Forever ATC Museum for yourself. We are proud to welcome Binky's Forever ATC Museum to the Digging Deep family. As the number one podcast in ATV racing, it's only right that we partner with the industry leaders in suspension tuning. Insert Impact Solutions. Impact Solutions is a full-service ATV and side-by-side suspension center specializing in the revalving and service of your motocross and off-road suspension. With over 25 years of elite-level knowledge, experience, and testing with riders of all ages and ability levels, Jay Goebel and the Impact crew strive to exceed clients' expectations for service and setup. Impact Solutions is the official Elka Suspension Service Center of the United States, offering unmatched product knowledge and experience. Whether you're in need of service, parts, warranty, sales, or technical support, Impact Solutions has you covered. Head over to impactsolutionsatv.com or give them a call today. With the desire to keep you in the race, Ultimate Poly Products offers the Ultimate Protection Collection of case savers, chain sliders, intake manifolds, and more. Founded on quality in 1998, this family-owned and operated business produces products created by racers for racers. These industry-leading products are proudly made and manufactured in the USA, with their case savers being made of the highest quality American-made polyurethane on the market and designed to completely conform to your engine case to help prevent case damage from a thrown chain, because no one wants to be a spectator on race day. Join top pro riders like Bryson Neal, Walker Fowler, John Glotta Jr., Adam McGill, Cole Richardson, and more by using UPP Racing products. Use discount code DIGGINGDEEP15 at uppracing.com to save on your next order. Ultimate Poly Products, made to last longer so you can ride more. Thanks for listening, and remember to support our partners. Now back to the show. All right, guys, a little bit of news. Stats updated while we were recording, and Digging Deep is now being consumed in 111 countries worldwide. So 111 countries will now be cheering for Shelby Cobrando from this day forward. From taking the ATV racing world by storm that day at High Point, to racing home every summer weekend to get back in time for work, and of course the Digger Doug Gust connection. She's great, and I am so glad that we got a chance to tell a little bit of her story here on the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. Major thanks to Shelby for being such a great guest. Thanks to producer Dallas Jansen, my brother, for all his hard work. Thanks to my wife Brooke, and thanks to AMA official Harv Whipple. Thanks to all of our donors, and thanks to all of our partners. CST Tires, go to shop.csttires.com today. Yamaha, thanks to Blue Crew. Thanks to SSI Decals, Valvoline, DID Racing Chain, Namira Technologies, Bronco ATV and UTV Components, Launderville Steel Enterprises and Concrete Supply, the financial advice of the Haymaro Financial Group, DP Brakes, Factory 43, Binky's Forever ATC Museum, Impact Solutions, Ultimate Poly Products, UPP Racing. Use discount code DiggingDeep15 at uppracing.com, and Manscaped to get 20% off and free shipping with code DiggingDeep20 at manscaped.com. Support all the brands that support our show, and don't forget to use those codes to save. You can find it all on our website, and be sure to click that Rocky Mountain ATVMC banner for all your gear and parts needs, and to help us out a little bit along the way. And most of all, thanks to you guys for listening. You can shop our Digging Deep merchandise at shop.diggingdeepatvmx.com. We're still stoked on that alien themed drop, our most recent drop. We're stoked on that. You can find a little bit of everything there at shop.diggingdeepatvmx.com. So check that out today. All things Digging Deep ATV fantasy related can be found at atvfantasy.com, and we'll reboot that for the 2025 season here shortly. If you're looking for another easy way to help support us, you can visit our website and click the Patreon or Buy Me a Coffee donation buttons. This allows you to set up a one-time or monthly contribution to support our efforts. Follow the show on social media, Digging Deep ATVMX Podcast, and myself, Cody Jansen, for additional content coverage and more fun stuff as we continue to make our way through the off-season here. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and more. Wherever you find podcasts, you'll find the Digging Deep ATVMX podcast. All episodes, additional podcast providers, sponsor links, and discount codes, show merchandise, fantasy info, and more can all be found on our website, diggingdeepatvmx.com. So check that out today. Be a friend, tell a friend. Please download, subscribe, rate, review, and share. And with that, for Shelby Cobrando, Brooke Jansen, Dallas Jansen, and I'm your host, Cody Jansen. Thanks for listening to and making us the most listened to podcast in ATV racing, with nearly 273,000 downloads last month in 111 total countries. Until next time, thanks for joining us in Digging Deep with the Stars of ATV Motocross. Things are crashing and burning here at the Digging Deep podcast, much like the Titanic.
Those guys were hauling ass, for real.
I remember watching Doug Gust, I don't know who it was, Steel City, running the same times Friday afternoon as James Stewart was on Sunday back then. It was mental. I've never seen quads go that fast.
Quadlers are freaking gnarly.